Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk with Johneri'O Scott. Of course, it's me, your host, Johneri'O Scott, and today I'm with Dreama, and we're going to talk about real estate. You know, she's a real estate agent, and we have so many questions that you guys would like to know. You know, it seems like everyone is trying to, get out there and buy homes and, I just get that better life, that Dreama life.
Hey!
So you guys, stay tuned because you're watching Let's Talk with Johneri'O Scott. So we're back, guys. Thank you so much for staying tuned. So we're here with Dreama.
That's me. Hi.
Number one, we said it. Number one real estate agent.
I received that. Let me say that.
So how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Listen, I'm good.
Hey, ain't no other way to be.
Moves.
Let's do it.
So you have been in real estate for
2 years.
2 years, and 2 years has gone by fast.
It has. I've learned so much. I feel like, I almost feel like an encyclopedia for real estate.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know everything, but like my slogan says, I know real estate and I can prove it. And if I don't know it, I know somebody that does.
Right.
So, yeah, 2 years.
Right. So you're an all-around mompreneur.
I am. That is me. Definitely.
That's you.
Yes, because my kids eat and grow, and they like things, and I gotta bring home some money.
Yeah,
so,
bring it home.
Yeah, they wouldn't understand if I didn't.
Right, right. So you actually started with the cleaner franchise, right?
I did. In 2014, I opened my first franchise. Janet King, doing business as Clean Dream, and thank God it's still actually up and going. It's over. My franchise is actually in Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
And I have, between now and 2014, I think I've had a W-2 job for 6 months during that whole period. Wow. And it was a rough 6 months. Once you actually start working for yourself, it's kind of hard to go back to working for somebody else. Yeah,
I can imagine.
Yeah,
because it's like, okay, you got your own schedule, everything is done. Okay, you got everything planned out. But then when you go back to these W-2s, it's like, okay,
you want me to do what? Right. And how much you say you paying? Yeah, I felt like I was being mistreated, but anyway, we're not gonna get into that.
So when it comes to first that franchise, what would you say you learned with, being an entrepreneur?
Being an entrepreneur, I think the biggest thing that I've learned is that I could actually do it. Mm-hmm. I'm just a girl from King Street, South Carolina. I grew up on Red Road and out in White Oak at my grandparents' house. I went to high school in Conway. Mm-hmm. I'm just a regular girl, and literally I wasn't sure that I could do it. Mm-hmm. But I did it, and I'm doing it, and I'm still doing it. Right. So I really feel like anybody can actually do it if you're willing to do it.
Right.
So
you have to be willing to do it.
Exactly, because it's a lot. It's a lot of work. I mean, like with the franchise, it took a lot of sleepless nights. If people called out, that didn't mean that they called out. That's just too bad. Right. No, these business owners still expect their businesses to be clean, and So I clean many toilets, and I fired people. I hired people. I did whatever needed to be. I paid people. And let me say this: I always I get hype about this part. Mm-hmm. I never mispaid anybody. I've paid every single employee that I've ever had on time, and they've always gotten their right amount of money. So
Okay,
that's a big deal.
Hey. let's just go right to real estate. So how long? I mean, not how long, but how was the process? You know, getting there.
Real estate. It was pretty much a matter of taking a class and passing a test, and then finding the right company. To be honest with you, you learn how to pass the test in class. And I went to Pinnacle in Myrtle Beach in Carolina Forest. Shout out to Jenny. Hey. And when I came into real estate, I started with a larger company. And I actually ended up leaving that company for a smaller company. And then now I'm actually with a different company now. And with my current company, Erica Homes. Hey, Erica. It's awesome. Like, Erica is literally like the GOAT. And yeah, I mean, you can call her anytime. You can literally, I mean, she's available, and she, like, a lot of brokers are too busy to be like that, but she makes time to actually mold you into the agent that you can actually be.
Okay. So you just brought up a broker. So what's the difference between a broker and an agent?
Well, brokers get paid for their agents, pretty much. But it's more than that. It's the broker is actually more responsible for the whole company. Okay. So the broker would actually be responsible if they have an agent that when they sign them on, it's pretty much a matter of they're teaching their agents if they're a good broker. So it's like a teacher and student situation almost.
All right, is Francis going to be a broker one day?
I don't know. Maybe I will. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Stay tuned.
All right, so let's get into these questions. So, you know, you guys sent in some questions. Some of you are buying homes or are already dealing with real estate agents, but you know, just want to see, you know, just answer these questions. See, hey, I'm dealing with this, or I'm trying to find this option. So Francis got you.
Hey.
So one of your questions are, do you really need a real estate agent to find property?
Of course you do. Having a real estate agent actually is kind of like, because nobody that I know, well, there are some investors, but regular people generally don't buy a house every week. Sometimes people buy houses twice in a lifetime. And whenever you're only going to do something once or twice in a lifetime, you're not going to know everything about it. You just don't. There's no way. And the laws change. The things that people can get away with change. It's just better to actually get it where you can get somebody that actually is in real estate. Right. Somebody that actually knows what's going on. Somebody that can actually protect you. Somebody that's going to fight for your money. Because that's what I believe in. I act like it's my money. Like, you are not getting this extra, you know, this extra $20. No, not that bad. But, you know, you need somebody that's going to be on your side that actually knows the laws of real estate and has your best interests at heart. Yeah, because the first thing when I think about buying houses or buying a home is like, there's gonna be there's an inspection. You know, like, I can't inspect this house by myself. I don't know what to look for. I would tell you not to. I would be like, you know, it's like buying, like we was talking earlier about buying a car. You don't know what's really under that engine. Right. It's like buying a car off Craigslist and not even seeing it, just sending your money over and going having somebody tow the car to you. Right. Like you wouldn't do that, would you? I hope not. I hope not. So the other question is, what does an housing inspection consist of? It's pretty much somebody checking the house from roof to floor, or I should say under the house more so than floor, because that's even below the floor. It's somebody checking the house and making sure that the house is actually up to par. Inspections and appraisals, they almost go hand in hand, because with inspections, you hire the inspector, and the inspector actually gets everything. He checks the house out, make sure the house is up to par, make sure there's nothing crazy going on, make sure there are two kinds of inspection. There's a regular home inspection, there's a CL 100 inspection, which is a termite inspection. You don't want to buy a house with active termites. You just don't. Walls coming down. Exactly. They can literally eat your whole house. except for the bricks. Then the bricks will be there without anything else. But you know, and then but the inspector actually looks for things like leaks, looks for things like mold, looks for holes in the wall, looks for things that aren't necessarily just cosmetic. Because whenever we are personally shopping for a house, we are looking more at the cosmetic part. Oh, look at these walls. I want this color wall. You know, paint is easy. I can paint your house. Okay, not really. But I could possibly paint your house. I've painted some fingernails before, so I mean, how different, you know, is it? But yeah, not that bad. But you know, anybody can paint your house. Your cousin can paint your house.
Right.
But so I mean, I want people to actually not focus that much on the cosmetics part, but they look for rotting floorboards, so to speak. They look for trouble with the roof. Roofs can be really expensive to fix. They go into the attic, like that place that nobody wants to go. They go up there and they actually look in the attic and make sure that there's no water damage, make sure there aren't any animals living up there. And yeah, because squirrels sometimes like to live in attics. Yeah. And they go under. Actually, if you have a house that actually has a crawl space, they go under the house. And so, like, if they're like snakes or anything, like they'll see the snakes. Good for them, not me. But they like literally look under the house as well. I mean, like they check everything. They check the electric sockets. They make sure that the outlets are right in the kitchen. They check the house out for you.
All right. So, what would you say is the best way to find reasonable housing?
Well, you can contact me, Frances Dreama, and I'll find what you're looking for. But I would say actually an agent is the best way. And a lot of sellers are apprehensive. Buyers are apprehensive about agents, but the truth is, you're not paying the agent. People that are buying houses, I've only had one situation where the buyer paid me, and that's because it was a first sale by owner, and it was just kind of a different situation. But for the most part, the seller pays. The seller pays the buyer's agent because they're like glad that somebody's buying their house. And so for the most part, you reach out to an agent, you tell them what your you get pre-approved. Once you reach out to your agent, let's get you pre-approved, because some people think that they have a certain amount of money and they don't, or they think they have a smaller amount and they have more. It's just easier to get pre-approved, and you let your agent know what you're looking for. I have a $200,000 budget. However, I only want to spend $75,000 on a house. That's fine. You tell them what you want, and it's their job to actually go out and get that for you, and then you kind of go from there.
So yeah, let's add more on the process. So for someone that's looking to buy a home, like what should their process be? Should they find a house first and then find an agent, or?
I mean, they can find the house if they want. I've had a client find their own house, and I was like, oh, look at God, you have some people that actually just find their own houses because they just know what they want and they saw it. Where I came in is with the inspections, but the process is generally, to answer your question, the process is generally you find the house, or you find the agent, you get pre-qualified, or you get pre-qualified, then you find an agent. Whatever pre-qualification needs to be between 1 and 2. Okay. Seriously. Yeah, like seriously. Once you get pre-qualified and you could actually know that you can buy a house, then we go to the next step, which pretty much entails, okay, let's find you a house. That's the fun part.
I can imagine.
Yeah, going to look at all these houses, and you actually so many of my clients, we actually end up like, whenever everything is closed, they'll call me like, I feel like we haven't talked in forever, and I'm just like, yeah, it's only been 2 days, but because of the process, we talk so much. You kind of talking each other through. You talking them, like a lot of people get apprehensive, like, I don't know if I want to buy. This is just such a big decision. You kind of end up talking them down a bit. You kind of become friends, with your real estate agent if you have. I feel like they should be at my house parties, like, like my clients, like, but you look for the house. Once you find that perfect house for you and your family, or the best house, the contract gets done, which is something else that the real estate agent takes care of. You submit the contract to the other agent, unless they have both sides, unless it's your agent and they're actually selling that house as well. We wait and see if it gets accepted. And as soon as it gets accepted, I hit the ground running. I schedule inspections. We get a closing date. I send over the information to the attorney, which I'll actually find you an attorney as well if you don't have an attorney already. And let me say this, people. I understand that your grandma might have used a certain attorney all her life. I understand that your mama may have used that same attorney. However, real estate attorneys just do better with real estate deals. Right. You don't want a situation where you're waiting because the attorney who generally deals with car accidents didn't know that they were supposed to do something, or it took so long to do something. Now closing gets pushed back. Then the seller's annoyed. Then everybody it's best to have a real estate attorney, in my opinion. So you get the information over to the attorney, the lender, and once that's done, we pretty much get the inspections in the first 10 days. We decide if you still want the house, then the appraisal has to happen. That's something else that actually needs to take place, because the appraisal actually lets the bank know if the house is worth it. Okay. So for those people that think they're going to sell a house that's worth $5 for $100, that's not going to happen. Sorry. So yeah. So and then closing day, which is the best day. Right. You get your keys, you get your house, and you sign some papers, and you're a homeowner. You're a homeowner. That's what we're trying to get to. We're trying to get there. We're trying to get there. So the closing, how long does it normally take for closings? I've had some. If you have cash, we can close in about 2 weeks. Wow. Yeah. So bring your cash. Yeah. Bring your cash. Get that cash. Exactly. I ain't gonna say my song. Right. But take it back. Take it back. So how much would you say to put down, or to is I would say a reasonable amount? Now okay, so are you just saying, like, for somebody that just wants to put some money down, or somebody that wants to, I mean, what are we talking about? I guess someone that wants to, I would say someone that's just wanting to get started. For some, okay, so if they were in the King Street area, shout out. If they're in the King Street area, they USDA would be my first choice, or VA. VA and USDA are both no money down. However, if you're at the top of that loan amount that they're giving you, and you have more the closing costs and everything haven't been factored in, then I would actually say you need to bring maybe about $2,500 to the table. However, I've had a client with USDA that walked away from the closing table with a check. Yes, a check. Wow. Yeah. And right, yeah, exactly. And of course, that's a happy day. Like, you getting your keys and you're not paying money out, you getting some money back. But I've had it really just kind of varies. If you find a house under budget, a lot of times what you can actually do is add in those fees, unless the lender tells you that you need to bring a certain amount. Now, depending on your credit, you may actually have to bring a certain amount to the table. And so it really varies. I don't want to necessarily say it's X amount of dollars, because it's not necessarily X amount of dollars. It may actually be $10. It may, you know what I mean? Like, it really just kind of varies from person to person. Okay. So, like, once you get pre-qualified, excuse me, they can actually tell you what you would actually need. Okay. All right. So, you guys, I hope you are taking notes, writing this down. Write it down, or call me, 803-873-6356, and we'll get it figured out. She got you. All right. So, someone else had a question. What advice would you give a person who wants to start in the real estate business? My advice would be, make sure that you have maybe about 6 months in reserve. If you're quitting your job, and you just saying, I'm gonna just sell houses because that's what I do and I just feel it in my bones. If you that person, you still need to have about 6 months savings. so that you can actually still live comfortably. Because you don't want to not be able to keep up your lifestyle just because you decided to sell houses. I'm speaking from a single person's point of view. If you're married and you have an awesome support system, or if you have like a serious relationship and you have an awesome support system, I'm not being funny, like I'm not downplaying relationships, I respect them, but if you have like a real relationship and your significant other is like, okay, I have you, I'll take care of your portion of the bills, or if you don't pay bills anyway, then by all means, I think it would actually be a good thing. But if your money is your money and you have a family that's depending on you and you have children and it's just you, I would say you need about 6 months in reserve so that you can actually be able to live. And, because you may not close for 6 months. It's a possibility.
It can happen.
I mean, and then you may close the first month, but then you still need to keep going. So I would say 6 months in savings.
Okay. All right. So what are some of the best loans to use?
It really depends on your credit. FHA can get somebody approved with a credit score as low as a 580, but FHA is going to want a down payment. And it really depends. Whenever you speak with myself, or actually, let me not even put that. Let me take that back. I am not a lender. I do not know a whole lot, but I know someone that does. Okay. So whenever you speak with like the person, the bank that the mortgage company that you decide to go with, they would actually be able to tell you, okay, this will be the best loan for your situation. But there are all kinds of like grants and things out there. Wow. There's all kinds of like extra money so that you don't have to really bring a lot to the table. It just depends on your situation. Right. But if you got like a 500 credit score, I can't get you approved anyway. But we can actually work on it and talk about what you need to do in the next few months so that we can actually get you approved in the next few months. That's possible.
So when it comes to houses, like what would you say is I guess some of your top sellers, or just some it would be best? Would it be like the family homes or the multi?
It depends on what you want. I'm all for somebody making money while they live at home. So if you say you see a nice quadruplex, which is a 4-unit building, say this quadruplex is $175,000, or say it's $200,000, you could buy that quadruplex and actually rent out those other 3 apartments, and that would actually pay your mortgage and probably give you extra money. Or you could buy this house that's the same price. It really just kind of depends on where you are in life. Some people don't like people, and they don't want to live around people. They say some people say a good neighbor is made by a good fence. Like it just it really just depends on the people. But then some people are like, no, I'm all about my money, and let me see if I can make money while I'm living at home since I got approved for this loan. And you can still get the same kind of loan that you would get for that house because you actually live in that apartment building. But the only difference is you're getting paid by the people that live there as well. So it really just depends on where you are and how much money you want to make. Me personally, I'm all about that money. Right. So let's get that. Let's get that quadruplex.
Yes. So as yourself, would you say for someone that's wanted to get into real estate, should they start with getting a LLC, or should they start under an agency first?
Well, you have to actually start under an agent. Like you have to actually start with a broker, and I think that an LLC is actually better because you don't want people attacking your money. Right. LLCs, they kind of protect that. They allow your business to have its own identity and allow you to have your own. So they can't take your house because they suing your business with LLC. So I personally think an LLC is better. That's actually what I have with my franchise. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, like what would you say is one of your most asked questions that when someone's getting into it, they be like, what do I need to know, or what should I look out for?
Well, most of the questions all boil down to either credit or money. What does my credit score need to be? And let me do a little plug for the Discover credit card. They actually have something where you can actually check your credit score, and they don't ding you. They don't take anything off of your credit score if you check. Yeah, so it's really good to know what your credit score is before you actually like try to buy a house. And you can, and I even let people tell me what theirs is on Credit Karma, because if your credit score is a 400 on Credit Karma, I know you're not ready. But if it's really close to where you need to be, I may still actually let it get run, because if you do that, then it can the lender can actually tell you what you need to take care of in order to actually be able to buy a house. So even if the answer is no, it's not a solid no. It's a not right now type of no. But yeah, credit and how much money do I need to buy a house? And I love that answer 0. Like, it makes me feel good.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I get excited. Like I said, I get excited about other people's money like it's mine. Like, we ain't spending no money. Like, this is a 0 down deal, you know. So, how much money do I need, and what does my credit have to be? Those are my 2 biggest questions. The other questions, like, what do I need to get a house like this? It's all about your income. That's another thing. You should have a job, or you should have some means of income.
Right.
I've talked to people without jobs that were interested in buying homes, and let me just say this: as much as I love you, you still need a job. Right. I can't make the lender give you money without a job. Right. I don't have that kind of magic. If I did, everybody I know would have a house. But yeah, so you need a job. You should you need a job that you've been working for about 6 months. And even if you've changed jobs, you need work history. The lender needs to know that you're not a person that's not going to work. Like, they want you, they're loaning you this money because they feel like you're going to pay for the house. They don't really want to foreclose on people, you know. So yeah.
So do you think it's best to, for home buyers, should they look for a home that's foreclosed on, or should they just look for a home that just has like a for sale sign?
It just depends on what they like. A lot of people say, let me go to a foreclosure, let me go to a foreclosure. I'm not knocking that. I'm down with a sale. Don't tell me a store has a sale that I don't need anything out of, because I still might just go there.
Right.
I'm for a sale, but sometimes a lot of work needs to be done. Sometimes, yeah, because sometimes people get angry, and it's understood, like human emotion, whenever they have to leave their home, you know, that they were planning on spending the rest of their lives in. It's understandable. I'm not saying it's okay, but it's understandable. Foreclosures are a sticky situation. However, it's important to just know the facts. With a foreclosure, you may not have any facts. They may not tell you anything. Your inspector may need to be really good, because you may not know anything, because the person that's being foreclosed on, a lot of times they don't give you any information on the house. They're not going to tell you that this room gets hot even though the air conditioner works fine. Right. They're not. You understand what I'm saying? So so to answer your question, I guess it's a personal preference. Okay. It just kind of depends on what people want.
All right. So, I mean, what do you have coming up next? I mean, like, what direction are you going?
As far as real estate goes, I'm selling South Carolina one house at a time. And I mean, I have other things, like other ventures that I'm working on. Whenever I get them up and going, I'll be more than happy to come back.
All right, come let's talk.
Hey, I'm down with that. But as far as real estate goes, seriously, a lot of people don't realize how much they can actually do. They don't realize that they have options. And I want to be that person that actually educates people and lets them know, hey, you can buy a house. It's not unheard of. Everybody has had something go on in their lives. I mean, something may have happened with, you know, to make your credit questionable, or you may have lost a job. You can still buy a house. It's not something that can't happen. So my thing is, if you're upfront with me and you say Francis Dreama or Dreama, whoever you call me, Francis, just call me one of those, please. Don't call me nothing crazy. But whatever you calling me, just say, if you just say to me, okay, this is what I have going on, I'll be able to actually let the lender know this is what they have going on and this is what they're interested in. Mm-hmm. So I'm here for the people. Like, I'm here to get as many people into homes as I possibly can. I'm here to sell as many homes as I possibly can. I have a cute little property. Well, it's not little, it's actually 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms property here in King Street for sale right now. It's on Bugsby Road. If you're on Facebook or, you know, any of the social media sites, you've probably already seen it. Mm-hmm. If you're on Zillow or anything like that, you've probably already seen it. It's like 184 Bugsby, B-U-Z-B-Y Road. Mm-hmm. In King Street, South Carolina. Great property for a great price with over an acre of land. If you are interested, by all means, let me know.
Let her know, Francis Dreama. Just don't call her nothing crazy.
Exactly.
All right, and I do want to touch on the credit score before we close. Okay. Is there like a range that your credit score should be?
It needs to be above 600. Okay. I've seen people get approved with a 580. It's possible, but like with a 580, everything else, like all your T's have to be crossed, all your I's dotted with the 580. Okay. It's possible, but I like 600 or better. Okay. I'm sure that my preferred lender likes 600 or better, or your lender would like that. However, with my lender, my preferred lender, I don't know if I can, I'm not sure if I can actually plug him or not, but Gill Mortgage, Lamont, hey y'all, they are like the whole bomb, in my opinion. Okay. But if Lamont can't get it done, 9 times out of 10 it can't be done. I've had people that went through other lenders, and that just, the lenders were like, oh no, definitely not. And they've come over to Lamont, and Lamont's like, oh, not a problem. Right. And I'm just like, that will be why I love your team. Yeah, so I say above a 600. And also, whenever your credit score gets checked or anything, even if you are signing up for one of those credit cards at a department store, it still dings you and it knocks your credit score down. So you want to be above a 600, because if something happens and you get dinged, you don't want it to knock you so far that you can't even get approved for your house now. So above a 600 is what I like.
All right, tell everyone how they can, connect with you, work some plans out when it comes to this home buying.
Okay, well, I'm always available by phone. 803-873-6356. Also, my email address is like Apple, Dream Estate at Gmail. And my Facebook handle is Francis Dreama Adamson Smith at Facebook. I'm on Twitter as Francis Dreama. I'm on Instagram as Francis Dreama Adamson Smith. I think that's pretty much who I am everywhere. I'm on Snap as well, but I've never done a Snap before, so hopefully I'll be able to get a Snap done one day.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll post them houses on there.
Yeah, and I've been kind of out of commission for the past 2 weeks, but I'm back, so I should actually do a video of a house this week as well. So.
All right. Well, you guys stay tuned. Listen, Dreama is dreaming. You want a home? She got you. I just want you guys to make sure that you, just when it comes to buying homes, make sure that if it's not with Francis, make sure you're with someone that really cares and really wants to see, you get into your dream home. Well, again, this is Let's Talk with Johneri'O Scott, Francis Dreama. We've discussed real estate. Hopefully you guys, been taking these notes.
If not, rewind it back.
Right.
Watch it again.
We got you. We want to say stay tuned. Again, follow her, check her out, connect with her. All right, you guys, we're out.